Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 400k per year profit solo consulting business right in front of your eyes. And the way that these videos work is that they follow the exact same framework every single day. So it's pretty simple. I start by answering your questions. This means that you can ask your question down below, and then I'll answer it in tomorrow's video. Then I'll run you through some business stats, so basically just my revenue, growth of my social channels, and like a very transparent look inside of my business so that you can see how it runs and works. Then of course also to-do lists, so what I did today and what I'll do tomorrow, and then some live strategy. This is me brainstorming out loud on how I can get to $1 million a year in personal profit while following these rules that I've set for myself so that I actually enjoy running my business. If you're new here, I've taken 2 of my previous coaching businesses to more than 100k per month, but not with a high profit margin and with a very large team. And I think that wasn't the right season for me. So yeah, doing things a little bit differently this time around. And the way that these videos go is that I start by answering your questions so that you get some instant value from watching these videos. So we scroll all the way down until we haven't interacted with the question, and then we run it up. So we have a question here from Espen. Hey Fred, good to see you, bro. My comment disappeared from yesterday's video, so just reposting here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know why YouTube are removing comments, but yeah, whatever. I had a question about outreach. Here's what I'm currently doing. Picking a niche to reach out to, good idea. Right now, I'm basically reaching out to anyone who might need help getting more clients. I know it's not super focused, but I'm just trying to get some meetings booked in. The message I'm sending looks like this in Danish. Hey, first name, I know you probably get a lot of these messages, so I'll keep it short. I've helped several self-employed people and practitioners create a consistent flow of clients, including booking over 250 sales calls for one of our clients and working closely with some of the biggest schools in Denmark. It's not about ads or algorithms, it's about structure, timing, and speaking directly to your target audience. If you're curious now, it might look for your business. Whenever I do outreach outside of Denmark, I get 0 responses. All right. If I read too fast, you people can probably read yourself the question here. So I think the most important thing to understand about outreach is that it is always about the client and never about you. People only care about themselves. So the second that you switch to I have done this for these people, then you lose the potential client and their interest. Because what people only care about is them and their own business. So what you need to do constantly, bro, is to always mention their business and then back it up with the things that you've done for other people. So, hey client, I noticed that you are doing this. Instead, you could be doing this, which I did for this person, and we had these results that will then give you and your business XYZ outcome, for example. So it's very important, Espen, that you try to always focus on the client, and then you basically use your own case studies as anchors to making sure that the things that you're saying actually has value because you can back it up with cases, right? Then I would say I think you need to switch to not just doing a message, but I think you need to include something more visual. So like something graphic, you need to include, yeah, you can actually just include a video or a selfie, like a selfie video, a voice note, a loom. Refer to something visual that will get their attention to actually open up the message. That will definitely help. Then I think, bro, this niche here, it is too broad, I would say. It's hard for people to relate to your profile. I think if they jump on your profile and you try to appeal to everyone, then you're basically speaking to no one, right? So I think you need to pick a group of people within this niche here and then tailor your profile, so like your bio and pin post towards these people. Then whenever you switch niche, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to switch a niche within the niche, so right, instead of going for physiotherapist and you want to hit masseuses instead, then you want to change your pin post and the bio so that it appeals to these people. That will probably help, bro. And then I think if you're only reaching out to people in Denmark, you should definitely do cold calls, and you should probably also do some more networking and go to events that will get you a few clients, I'd say. So yeah, bro, I think it's quite a bad answer here. It's not a bad answer. It's probably just the answer that you don't want to hear. I think right now in the market, people are underestimating the amount of work it takes to see success. And when I say success, it's always relative to the person, right? Like people underestimate the amount of repetitions that has to be done in order to get to where you want to be. So think as the amount of outreaches that you imagine that you have to do in order to get to your goal, times that by 100 and then just get going. Because I think, bro, I think you can do more volume, and I think you can do more quality volume as well. I try to always make things as simple as possible. That's kind of how I try to operate my business. And I think, bro, the questions that you want to ask yourself is, how can I do better than anyone? Or like, how can I do better than my market? How can I do better than everyone else that is competing for the same clients? And how can I do more? Right? Because if you can do better and if you can do more, then you're basically just like you're playing this game again, right? Where you basically just like run everyone over. Because what you're doing is better and you're doing more, right? So like you will constantly win the race, basically. So I hope that helps, man. I hope that helps. Just please stick to it, bro, because all it takes is one case and then you're good. All right. Hey, Max, I appreciate your message, bro. I'm still getting back to everyone. I think I've gotten over 30 or 40 DMs today after doing my little story about the wait list. So it's very nice to see the interest, and people are so sweet, man. So I'll definitely get back to it, Max, probably tomorrow, so Thursday. Also curious, will the book you're writing be about? So what my book will be about? A business book in Danish or English? I'm still kind of considering it, bro. I really appreciate the question. Thanks for being interested. I think it will definitely be something about business, and it will definitely be something about info and coaching and consulting, because that is the businesses that I've built, and it is the business that I run, and it is the business that has provided me a life now that is filled with a lot more joy and also freedom, and of course also some financial gains, which also improves the quality and the opportunities that me and my family has, right? I'm by no means financially set for life or whatever it is, but I definitely have some more peace of mind, right? So I think it will definitely be something around business. But what I've realized is that the things that my business has brought to me is also heavily correlated to me as a person, right? So there's a direct correlation between the growth and how my business is doing versus, or together with how me, Fred, is doing and evolving and becoming better. I think the target audience will be people, for example, like you, Max, around your age, maybe even a little bit younger, a little bit older. I think like for people getting out of high school and probably doing high school. So maybe like once you're so like first degree, like these people, so like from 16 to 18 years old, probably like 16 to 25. I think that will be the target audience that I will write it for. But I'm also a little biased because I'm that age now, so those are the ones that I relate to the most, and it's the life stage that I've just been in, right? But definitely something about business, and I'll probably write it in both Danish and English. I don't know. It depends on the growth and trajectory that my business and brand is on, and how heavy I want to push it, and also the position that I'm in. But I appreciate it, Max. Bit of a fluffy answer because I'm not 100% sure, because I'm kind of like taking it as it comes. But yeah, man, thanks a lot. Hey, Jens, good to see you here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Hey, Fred, big fan of your videos and your whole digital coffee shop approach. Super inspiring. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I've got a question. How would you approach your acquisition method for a marketing agency that helps e-commerce brands done for you in Denmark? I've been thinking about it for a while, and I can't seem to find anyone doing this kind of content in my niche. Do you think there's a reason for that, or could it actually be an advantage? Right now, I'm planning to post around 10 to 15 reels on Instagram per month, 15 posts on LinkedIn, and 2 to 3 YouTube videos monthly, give or take. I'm totally new to video content, but I've done it a lot on LinkedIn. Would you recommend just focusing on getting content out there, even if it's not perfect, just to build experience and momentum? Would love your take. Thanks a lot. All right, quite a few questions here, and I really appreciate it, Jens. Very good thought process. So, it's funny you ask, Jens, because like I've been looking at the market in Denmark, especially in like the whole done for you agency game, right? Because that was the thing that I was exposed to in starting my business. Because I think when you compare the amount of people living in Denmark versus how many marketing agencies there is, I think it's kind of skewed to most countries, because now we are so exposed to marketing agencies and online businesses due to the history of Kasper Knudsen and these people, right, Jens? You're also a part of that group, just like I'm a part of that group. And I've always wondered, why isn't there anyone like of these marketing agencies, big corporations, right? And also people like you, Jens, probably like solo people, maybe with a few media buyers, maybe you have a graphic designer. I can't really remember. Like I've always wondered, why isn't there anyone like doing something a little bit different than the rest of the market, right? Because in Denmark it just seems like there's an agency that get one good case study from a well-known brand, then they run it up with case study ads that fills into like an audit, and then they get all the clients, and then they become so big that they can't serve the clients, so the clients becomes unsatisfied, so they find another case study video, and that seems like that's the whole market, which is like insane. Like I can't name one agency owner in Denmark that has like a very good personal brand where I'm like, if I had an e-com store or whatever it might be, I would go to this person, right? Because he has an amazing YouTube channel, he has a free school, he has a personal brand on Instagram, he shares very good in-depth stuff on LinkedIn, he has like a clear visual identity in terms of who he's helping with a unique mechanism and a method, and he's maybe doing public speaking. Like there's no one doing this, bro. So I think it's amazing that if you can implement the whole philosophy about the digital coffee shop, right? Like the core product, the things that you are best at, Jens, and then like finding ways of delivering it, and then letting a lot more people know about the things that you can do, you will grow your business. I'm pretty sure. Like for example, bro, I had a marketing agency at the beginning, right? And then I did consulting. Then I did consulting only. Then I realized that my systems was working incredibly well for these people. So I was like, what if I start a done for you agency again, and then take percentages in people's businesses, right? So that's what I did, and that agency did the month prior did 27k US, and last month, so the invoices that we send out just now was 17k, right? Because what happened was that because of my strong done with you side, which is my brand, right? My cases, my Instagram, my YouTube channel, the digital coffee shop method. Like what happened was that my done for you increased tremendously in value, right? Because people didn't see me as a commodity, an agency owner, just like providing the same as everything else. They saw me as an authority who had a unique mechanism. He's the only person in the world serving the digital coffee shop. He's a consultant with a brand authority, creating content, the feeling of reciprocity, right? People have consumed a lot of my content for free, which gives them the feeling of they feel like they owe me something, and like I've helped them without basically forcing them to tap the credit card, right? Which means that when I position myself with a done for you and saying I only take in the best of the best, I take a percentage of your business, it's a year-long contracts, these things, like it just did exceptionally well. I have barely promoted it, and we've filled 6 spots in the done for you, right? And the agency is doing quite well if you're thinking that it's only 3.5, 4 months old. So I think, Jens, what would happen is that if you could start building out your world and your brand here, then I think not only would your done for you go up in value, you would also get more inbound people in, and you would also be positioned more as an expert who would then be invited to speak at speaking gigs. You could do workshops for e-commerce stores or businesses who already has an existing marketing department. Like I've never understood why these larger agencies don't have any workshops or courses or one-time products. Like imagine, bro, if Obsidian or LasaWeb or like these big ones had these things in place, they could probably add like 25-30% to their bottom line every month in one-time fees or consulting offers that is like 100% profit, right? So I've never really understood that. So I think with this answer in mind, feel free to like brainstorm on it yourself. I think it's an absolutely amazing idea, bro, and I hope you start. Just make sure to understand that it will take you 1 to 2 years, probably closer to 2 years, to see the full effect. So if you start, bro, then maybe turn down the volume, right? So go down in volume, just to make sure that creating content and sharing stuff online becomes a good experience to you, so that it's not a huge burden. I would rather that you started small and then build it on top, instead of starting big and then, I didn't get to post the reels, or it's a burden. Because creating content, bro, is hard. There's a reason to why more people isn't doing it. Very interesting question, bro. I really hope that you get going. Like I think it would benefit you tremendously. And I know that you're very smart and you're very kind because I've met you. So I think it would definitely be good for you. All right, that was the questions. I appreciate all of the questions as always. Like it's so cool that you asked the questions. I appreciate it. So now we dive into business stats, which is just me showing the growth of my social channels and also revenue, cash, and cost for the previous day. So today is the 18th, which means that we need to fill out yesterday, which was the 17th. So we'll hit the social channels first here and see that the daily updates has 257. We'll head over to my main channel. And we're currently at 6350. I really need to post something on my main channel. Oh my goodness. There we go. Revenue and cash. Let's open up my payment processor. Me just whistling into your cam so you can't hear anything, huh? So yesterday was 8,657. 8,657. I'll just copy here. And then I paid my graphic designer, who is Danish, so it's in Danish. So we'll do it in USD, 1,234. Very nice. So yeah, I've hired a graphic designer to help me build out the entire visual identity for the digital coffee shop. So first of all, the logo, right? It got done today, which was very nice. And then based on the logo and the colors and everything, I'm building all the visual models together with the graphic designer. So I have all of these theories and models and frameworks that I'm then being built out as like very nice visual models that will be used in the frameworks and the course and the program for all of my clients and students, whatever you want to call them. And then I can also repurpose them in content pieces, so that I can show the same model in my program. I can use that in YouTube, on my story, on Instagram, and I believe it's the biggest leverage hack ever, which is very nice. So for the month, we are at 35k cash, and we are at 2.4k costs. So we're like at 94% profit. I need to spend some more money. Please understand this in the right way. It's not in a saying like, oh, we made so much money and like high profit, but there's a reason to why I want to operate my business at 85% margin, because I believe that you should always reinvest 15% into your business in ads, team, content, something that always grows your business, right? Because it will always give you an exponential return. Like you can put it in crypto, cool, bro. You should probably also do that. Diversify stocks, obligations, you buy property. But like investing into your business and ads and content, it's easy for me to say because I've seen it. I'm a living proof that investing into content and sticking to it for a long enough period of time is a good choice, but you wouldn't believe me until you see it for yourself. It's the same what I just told Jens to get going with content, right? Jens will never believe it until he experiences it. The problem is that he will start today and he will harvest the fruits in 1.5 years from now, and 99% of people stop before they can harvest the fruits, and then they'll be like, content doesn't work, personal branding is bullshit, and it doesn't work for me. I promise you it works for you. You just need to stick to it. All right, the next thing here is the to-do list, so I'll just like run you through what I did today. I posted a story about I made a storyline and scripted it out, basically saying that I'm closing down spots. I'll run you through that in strategy in just a few seconds here. So no spots left for the digital coffee shop. I'll run you through that. I wrote everything out, planned that out. Then I finished the logo together with my graphic designer and like tweaked all the colors and everything so that it's ready. I posted an Instagram reel. I wrote the copy for it. I answered all clients with Loom's voice notes, yada yada yada. Ran through the whole Slack, very cool. I set up some recurring calls with some mentorship clients. I made a resource Slack channel for all of my clients in terms of all of the masterclasses that I host, and then I made a resource library for everything there. And yeah, then I had one-on-one calls. It's Wednesday, so I take calls today. So I had calls with my clients, so it was a very good day. I enjoy all of my clients, so I'm in a pretty lucky position. So yeah, that is basically it, what I did. I'll head over to my Instagram and then I'll just like run you through my storyline here. Just to give you an understanding of why I'm publicly stating that I'm basically not letting anyone in. So I think the most important thing about your marketing is that it's always clear, right? When you're kind of like in between open, right, or closed, it's kind of awkward, not gonna lie. You need to pick one of these. Either you have spots that are open or you are closed. People don't want to be in a state of you always being accessible. Like, they need to understand if, can I work with this guy or not, right? So I think now I just committed to being fully closed, Hey, I'm not gonna be open. I cannot serve you. I cannot help you for the next 10 weeks, but you can join my wait list, and then you'll be the first one to know when I'm able to serve clients again. This works tremendously well. It's how I basically ran my mentorship for the past 10 months, by opening up a few spots and then closing a little bit down, opening up. And now I'm just full committing to 10 weeks of basically not bringing anyone on, right? I've spent $1,500 on ads, and I've basically collected almost $400,000 in the last 9 months, which is insanely cool. So I'm of course fully capacity, which means that my business cannot break past 40-50K a month, which is definitely a problem. So yeah, I'm just closing down, right? So I'm getting people to join the waitlist, and that will basically be all of my marketing. I'll stay consistent with my content, and then I'll just refer to basically joining the waitlist. And that's what I'll be doing for the next 10 weeks while building out my program, which is going to be the number one priority in taking care of clients. What questions would you be left with now that I've just letting you know? Like, I think most of you would be like, why, Fred? You're leaving money on the table, it's stupid. Well, that is a good question, right? I asked myself a question, and I was surprised of the quality of the question. Well, I respect people, and people that I follow along in the space, I respect people who stick to their words. And when I've publicly stated that I'll only take calls 3 days a week, and I'll only work with the right clients, and I'll only bring on a certain amount of spots, then I am committing to it, right? So it's also a mental challenge for me of like, hey man, you don't have to be in a constant stress of acquisition, Like, if you just do the right things and do it with the right intention, which is my intention now, is to build an extremely good program from everything that I've learned throughout. I've done more than $3 million in revenue online with my own coaching offers. And in the last 9 months, I've done 400K in profit, right? And now I'm boiling everything down so that I can help more people do the same things that I've done. So the intention here is that I want to spend more time on my clients and the program so that I can then open up and help more people. So the intention is good, and I'm sticking to my word, and I'm keeping my rules, which means that the market will always respect honesty and transparency. So I know that it is the right move, right? I know that it is a good choice. And the only reason to why I can do it is because I have cash reserves, I have payment plans, I have clients that the ones that I work with now, there are some of that will renew, there are people who are paying off their mentorship. So I have cash in the bank, and I also have cash coming in. So I won't be in a state of stress of like, oh no, I closed down for clients, but I can't pay rent, right? And that is a luxury that I have. And I think what I could have done instead, right, is that I could have spent, instead of dedicating 10 weeks fully dedicated to creating my program, what I could have done is that I could have generated or created 20 weeks, right, where I only spent, basically the difference here, right, is that here I only spend half the input, where up here I spend 100% of my focus on it, for easy numbers. So here I could have done 50% also towards acquisition, right? But I decided not to, because I want to move with speed and get the program done, because I like to be in a flow state when building programs. It's hard to build a little bit of program and then a little bit of not. So yeah, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that we'll see each other tomorrow. If not, then it's all good. I'll be here tomorrow, you know that. But I really appreciate it, and I wish you an amazing week. stay safe, crush your business. I'm proud of you. If no one have told you today, I am. But yeah, see ya.